Nothing really compares to riding a chopper. A lot of people judge it and think that it's uncomfortable or that you're going to get bounced off the road or break your back, but I actually prefer a chopper because on a suspended bike, it just feels like you're sitting up on top of the bike and you're looking down at it. And on a rigid, it just feels like you're inside the bike, like you're in a cockpit and you just have so much control, and I really prefer that stance over anything. I'm Flynn Bryant, and this is my 1994 Harley Sportster. We bought this bike as a stock 883 Sportster. We chopped the frame in half, added a Hafley Brothers hardtail kit to it, put a S&S 1250 kit on it. We got a dual disc front end off of a Sportster S. I always liked Van Halen, so I had my buddy Matt Ross give me a Van Halen style paint job, just like his guitar, but instead of red and black and white, I just went with a gloss black and a red metal flake. I told him I wanted the deepest, darkest red that you could get with still being red, and he nailed it. I'd say my favorite part of the bike is probably the paint job, honestly. We built this bike for EDR, and we started it about 90 days before EDR, so everything from chopping the frame to rebuilding the motor, putting the dual discs on, everything, every little challenge we got done in 90 days, and I rode it on EDR with no problems. I've rode this thing probably 10 or 15,000 miles on our various trips and commuting to work and back and forth to places, and it's never let me down. A few bolts came loose, never really broke anything, never crashed it. This thing has been really, really reliable. I didn't really know much about bikes when we started building it. I just knew I wanted the Van Halen paint job, I wanted the 2-in-1 Thunder header, and I wanted the S&S carb. This bike wouldn't have been possible without Biltwell's help, obviously. I put in lots of hours after work in the Biltwell shop. They let me use all their tools, and I got tons of Biltwell parts. I got everything from bars, grips, throttle. I used their pipe kit to build the 2-in-1 pipe. I used the foot pegs, tail light, and license plate holder. We finished the bike about 10 days before EDR, so I didn't have much practice on it before. I just rode it back and forth to work, taking the long way. Having never really ridden a motorcycle, it took me a while to get used to the turning. That was probably the hardest part to get over. But once you do one good turn, you just scrape the peg a little bit and you know what it feels like, then you just got it. I mean, you can just lay this thing down, and as long as you're confident and you lean into it, it's really not gonna let you down. Like I said, this was my EDR 2015 bike, and EDR 2017 is coming up. I'm actually selling this bike to fund my next one. I told myself I would never sell it, but I really want to learn more about custom motorcycles and about building bikes, and the only way I can afford that is to sell this one to fund the next one. So on EDR, you'll see me on something brand new, but it will be heavily influenced by this bike. I'll still keep my S&S carb, I'll still keep a 2-in-1 Thunder header.